All right, if you just joined us, you're still on to Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's get to our main conversation right now. The police in Lagos on Sunday, October 20, arrested over a dozen peaceful protesters, including Comrade Hassan Taiwo Soweto at the Lekki Tollgate during the fourth memorial of the hashtag NSAS massacre. Soweto, a member of the organizing committee of the hashtag End Bad Governance movement in Lagos, had on Friday said they will be joining all the groups to mark the fourth memorial of the hashtag NSAS massacre.
Now, the backstory to Sunday's travels back 4 years to October 2020, when scores of protesters were shot and killed at Lekki Tollgate by soldiers.
Well, what was their offense is the question. The protesters demanded an end to police brutality and the scrapping of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad (SAS), the police unit notorious for extrajudicial killings.
Very true. The government at the time deployed soldiers to the Lekki toll gate who violently crushed the protests by shooting directly at protesters, even when they were peaceful and waving Nigerian flags.
In commemoration of the gruesome killing of over a dozen protesters at Lekki, Nigerian on Sunday converged on the Lekki toll gate to lay a wreath and hold a procession in memory of the deceased.
It was at the said event that Comrade Hassan Taiwo Soweto and 17 other activists were arrested at the Lekki tollgate.
A post by activist lawyer Inibe Efyong said those arrested were brutalized and detained at the state CID Banti, but the detained have now been released. That is the story we have. Let's have our conversation now. And joining us virtually, we have a Comrade Kingsley Udiale. He is a member of the hashtag End Bad Governance movement. Good morning to you, Kingsley.
Good morning, Kingsley.
Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you so very much for your time. And also with us in the studio, we have Emeka Amadunagu, a journalist and public affairs analyst. Good morning to you, Emeka.
Hello, comrade. Good morning, Henry Choma.
Thank you so very
Good morning,
much.
comrade.
Hello,
Comrade.
thank you. All right, so let's get
continue.
Victoria Asata. All right, so let's get into the conversation now. Kingsley, I'd love to start with you. You were there. You saw everything that happened. Please bring us up to speed. If you may, let's have the story. How did it all happen?
Well, yesterday was a memorial day for our brothers and sisters who were shot at Lekki Tollgate 2020. Yesterday being 20th of October 2024, me and my team, which is my fellow comrade, we convened a bus and we left to Lekki Tollgate in the morning at about 10 a.m. or thereabout.
Kingsley, I think we're finding it very difficult getting to have this conversation because of network issues. But let's ask Emeka.
Yeah, Emeka Madnago, looking at what happened yesterday, at a time where Nigerians came out to commemorate the late Nigerians, some of them that lost their life while asking for good governance in 2020. And the police had to now capture these ones and actually detain them, and some of them were brutalized. Can we say they have actually heard Nigerians and they're trying to do the right thing?
It's part of the intolerance and ignorance on the part of Nigerian leaders. You know, they are widely traveled, but limited in exposure, limited in understanding, limited in, in apprehending issues that matter in the society. And that is why you see all the chaos everywhere. Yeah, people have a right to peaceful assembly. It's a constitutionally guaranteed right to peaceful assembly. People have a right, freedom of association. And you see, the police try to, get judicial backing, for a purported right to sanction protests. But they failed woefully. Up to date. And the interesting thing was that the person who initiated that judicial process was Muhammadu Buhari, the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And he won. The police, so The police have failed. Even the matter was at the appeal court. He won at the appeal court, and the police have failed to go to the Supreme Court to get finally defeated. Now what have they been doing? They've been hiding behind specious pronouncements, irresponsible pronouncements, to criminalize due peaceful agitations. And then you now find out that the government usually, in order to get justification for trying to cross protest, they infiltrate such agitations with their own hirelings, to cause mayhem, and then they turn around to blame the peaceful protesters. And you see, these NSAS protests, there have been different versions from the government. Oh, that we agree, some people are killed. Oh, no, nobody was killed. Where are the corpses? Where are the bullets? All of these things were just well coordinated and choreographed. People were killed at the Tollgate. Because you look at it, sometime later, government was talking about unclaimed corpses, about 30 or so, at Isolo Mortuary. At the mortuary of Isolo General Hospital. Where did those corpses come from? Up to today, the government has not told us. And so, you find out that it is this continuing culture of intolerance. The police that cannot apprehend these audience, that cannot apprehend bandits, that cannot tackle kidnappers, they usually develop muscles when it has to do with peaceful protesters. What they have to do with criminals who are well or even better armed than the police, you see them removing their uniforms, throwing their guns away and flee. That is the culture we have in this country. But I must remind the Nigerian police that this is a democracy. And people have a right to peaceful assembly. People have a right to public protest. And that right must be respected and protected.
All right, thank you so very much, Emeka. I think we have Kingsley right about now. Kingsley, if you may, we'll still appreciate if from your end, let the feed be on landscape, if that's okay. All right. I think while he gets that, Emeka, I wanted to ask you, don't you think it will be better at this point that the government possibly make it a lot easier by, if possible, having to mark that particular day? Do you think there's anything constitutionally wrong in the government setting that day apart and say today is a day that so happened, and maybe in order to avoid issues that would lead to protests, let's maybe mark it, but in a very solemn way? Do you think it's possible?
As the government acknowledged the brutality of SARS, they don't remove the name SARS, posted those fellows, who are behind all this, just posted them to different units, and rebranded them. You still see them on the highways. You still see them everywhere. The other day, some days ago, some policemen in Lagos chased a boy because he had tattoo on his body, chased him into a canal and killed him, took his slippers, took his money. You now have felons in the Nigeria police, people who are out to rob the citizens instead of protecting the citizens. So when you talk about the holiday, that's even far-fetched. We are talking of a situation where we are demanding that the government must respect the rights of citizens to live in a peaceful and orderly society. But what do we have? We have a government that feels that citizens don't have a right to even breathe. They don't have a right to protest. They don't have a right to reject bad policies. Policies orchestrated to cause suffering. Look at it. President Bola Tinubu came in on inauguration day, May 29, 2023, and said subsidy is gone. Now that kept Nigerians busy. We didn't know that there was an orchestrated plan. The issue wasn't subsidy. The issue was that they actually planned it to distract Nigerians for like a year. While the second thing they did was actually the master killer, the master stroke they were planning to deploy, which was the devaluation of the naira by 1,000%, which was what even made things worse. While we were debating subsidy, the subsidy that didn't exist, subsidy that never existed, they were busy, they claimed they floated the naira, and there was nothing like that. All they just did was devalue the naira, embark on illegal ways and means, then embark on reckless borrowings locally and abroad. And brought the naira down to the point that the World Bank and IMF, those imperialist institutions, came to say that the naira is among the 3 worst performing currencies in Africa. What a disgrace. Why did they do this? So that they could have plenty funds. You know, when you convert the dollar, when they borrow money, convert the dollar to naira, then you have a lot to pour on their reckless projects.
Okay.
Or projects that won't add any value to the people. And that is what we are facing now. That's why you see everywhere is upside down. And so these courageous Congress that came out to protest police brutality, this is just part of the problem.
Okay. Thank you so much, Emeka. Kingsley, back to you. You were among those who were actually detained yesterday. I want to ask, from the Tollgate to Panti, can you tell us the story? How were you guys moved from the Tollgate to Panti? And tell us the story. Let us get informed on how it happened from the Lekki Tollgate to Panti yesterday.
So we were at Lekki Tollgate with our placard and banners, you know. We were just about like 30 or thereabouts who were there, the comrades who were there. We were just saying freedom for our brothers and sisters who were killed here in Lekki Tollgate 2020. Before you know it, because I was at the front, my phone were right in my pocket. Before you know it, how the police came in, I didn't know. They just hijacked me and hijacked some of the coverage. I was like, what is happening? We are here to demonstrate the scenario that happened here since 2020 that is still in our head. We have some victims among us. We have people who survived the scenario of 2020 among us here. This is why we are here. These people were fighting for us while they were killed. So we are here today for the sake of that issue. They were just beating us. Before you know it, they grabbed my phone from my pocket. They snatched my money from my pocket. They cut my wristwatch. They were brutalizing me. If you can see, I have my face as swollen. My neck, I can't even turn my neck. I just came back from one of the general hospital yesterday. They were grabbing, police officers were grabbing my ball, like my dick. I was shouting. I could not shout the moment a police officer grabbed me and my dick was squeezing on my dick. That is my most fear. I don't know. That was intentional. The time they were dragging me to the Black Maria, most of the comrade was like, this beating is intentional. What is happening? They say, we know him. We know this face. He has terrorized us a lot. We know this face. I said, but please, what did I do? Did I harm you? What did I do? This is my right. I am here to protest. I am here to cry out about the death of the people that carried out the massacre that happened here in Lekki Tollgate. This is not a crime. It's my constitutional right. Please leave us alone. Let us do our thing peacefully as a patriot Nigeria. See these people, I don't think they are police officers because they act like criminals. They act like criminals. I can't get myself, I can't even forget that trauma. It's on me. Like, I can't believe that we were out there to mourn the dead. We were almost a victim of the dead too. Like, how long are we going to continue like this? They took my phone, which means we don't have right for phone anymore. I did not even bring my phone out. See, now my wristwatch is nowhere to be found. The money they took in my pocket is nowhere to be found. But I got my phone. Glory be to God. We were victims. I was sexually assaulted yesterday. Some comrade, a female comrade yesterday was sexually harassed too. They were talking and playing with her ball. Female police. No police were grabbing my dick. As we speak, my dick is paining me. My dick is paining me in my face.
Kingsley.
My neck, I can't choose anything.
Okay, Kingsley,
I can't choose anything as we speak.
sorry, Kingsley, sorry about what happened. Did this happen while you guys were being taken to Panti or at Panti? Was it where it happened? Or
These were the protests of Tollgate. From Tollgate, this happened in Tollgate, not in Panti. This was Tollgate, right in Tollgate. So they took us from that Tollgate, they bundled us to Black Maria and took us to Panti. It was when we got to Panti, I think they were playing the scenario, greeting style like, oh, they are not aware, they are so. We said, we know your game. You people, we know what you people do. You send the people you want to send there, and here you are claiming that you didn't know the people. We want this police. We can't continue like this. We said we're not going to write statement until our lawyers comes down. They were trying to force us to write statement. We said we are not going to write statement. The commissioner of police must be held accountable. Those police officers, they must be held accountable. I can't just be ill for nothing. And yesterday, not for the grace and sake of God. Police are no longer for the people. They are the tools of the government. And we need to cry out. We need to do something about it. Because the police are becoming a terrorist in this country. Police is supposed to be for the people, not to be the tools of the government. This is crazy.
Okay.
Right now, as a police officer, what did I do? The only thing they could say was, you were the one that exposed our video. The video went viral. They exposed the person, the comrade who talked to police was on that second concerning when he was addressing police, when they laid their weapon, when they were treated. He said, did you think we're happy about it? In the police, if I was able to picture their face, I know them. I told the commissioner yesterday, Commissioner, you are out of this. We look like being a call direct call from somewhere, but we don't care that we cannot continue to live like this. Police terrorists in this country, they are not police we used to know. It has changed.
Okay, thank you, Kingsley. Sorry about what you experienced yesterday. Now, you mentioned something about wanting to, they were asking you to write a statement, but you refused and stating that until your lawyer comes. Now, at the end of the day, did you guys write the statement? Did your lawyers come in? Were they allowed to come in? How did it get to end yesterday?
Yes, in the beginning when the lawyer came in, they never wanted the lawyer to enter. We insisted our lawyer must enter and we are not ready to take any statement or whatsoever. Then after we allowed our lawyer in, at the end of the day, we did not take statement. And they did not arrange us to video this scenario. They disagreed. This commissioner of police did not agree. And they were filming us without allowing us to film them. We said, this is a public facility. We have the right to do this. They are giving it to us when you don't want us to do it. Why? We're supposed to have equal rights. You are not more citizens than us. We are paying we pay your salary with our tax. So why are you making this place a private place? You know, yesterday they did not allow, but some of our families still managed to navigate through. You know, police are brutalizing us. They are harassing us in every means, and this must stop. This must stop. We can't continue like this. Yesterday too. Yesterday I can't remember his name. He was pushed out of the police station. How did you get here?
All right.
Get here.
So, Kingsley, I had wanted to ask you, did you or were you informed, the group, were you informed prior to your protesting on that day? Were you informed that the Nigerian police had placed an embargo on not protesting, especially at the Lekki Tollgate? Were you informed on that particular information?
Well, I was not informed that the police had placed embargo. Even if I was informed, I will still come out because I have friends who were victim of that scenario 2020. I was coming out to do what I have to do peacefully. So I don't need to seek the police. If police decide to be with me, it should protect me. That is the number one what is it called? The number one look, and it's time to protect. It's supposed to be there. When there is hijacker from anywhere, I don't care, I don't know. That is the duty of a police officer.
Okay,
I don't know if there was I don't know if there was a dead department or whatever or whatever. I was there to exercise my right.
Okay.
The citizen of Nigeria.
Yeah, be beautiful.
Okay, thank you so much, Kingsley. Now let's look at it from this angle. Maybe, perhaps, the police were scared of thugs coming in and taking charge of this protest, this peaceful protest of commemorating the dead. And that was why they came out. We should just look at it from that angle. And looking at it from that angle, I would ask you, was there any other way that's the end-back governance could have commemorated the dead without going to the Lekki toll gates on that particular day, which was yesterday being the 20th?
There was no other way, but if there is any other way, that is where it happened. It's memory, it's something we cannot forget. It is something till now there is no justice for it. So we will always be there. Next year we are going to be there. Whether they like it or not, God will be with us. We are going to be there. That is when we were short. It was we that were short. We just happened to be alive. We are living ghosts. Brothers and sisters still are wishing. We were the victim of this thing now. So we will always be there until justice is prevailed.
All right. So while you were having the issues at the police station in Banti, were you informed if the protest had continued at the Lekki Tollgate? As at the time you were all at the police station, what was the scene like at the Lekki Tollgate?
There was no protest anymore because the few protesters were arrested. We were all in Fanti yesterday.
Everybody,
There was no protest.
every one of you.
Yeah, everyone were in the party yesterday. Even the two ones that were supposed to be there, they were in party because they have to be with us.
Okay.
Because if you try to come out, they will squeeze you. They will squeeze you and bubble you like a boat and throw inside Black Maria. The no police that was there in Lekki Tollgate yesterday, if we actually seeing the number of police like this in the places where we need them, I think Nigeria will be safe. Because I see no reason why police will be coming out in numbers just because of peaceful protesters. They don't understand. We are harmless citizens. There was nothing harmful with any of us. So that means they, even if they want, they were afraid of hijackers. What will they attack the people who are forced to protest peacefully? Because at least when you want to enter an issue like that, you should be able to decide what is the duty of the police. You should be able to know the egg among the good egg. Even if you could not, okay, check didn't have any weapon. Check didn't have any interior motive. Give us time to even do what we came here to do. They didn't even give us a minute to do it. They didn't even give us a minute to do it. They didn't know what us to for. We were looking at me left and right, as in numbers of police.
Oh. So, sir,
I want you to keep this in record. I don't know when a male police is getting a male G. I don't know. I don't know because it was intentional. And the commissioner of police must be held accountable. The police must be held accountable for this because I don't know. Because that was intentional.
okay. I'm so sorry we can see.
Yes.
Yeah, we could actually feel your pain from this end. At this point now, you've been released. So what's next? How do you hope to bring the police officers to justice?
Our lawyer on it. Our lawyer is on it. We have a legal team, they're on it.
Okay.
So
We still need you, the media, just like this.
Okay. But at the same time, I want
They
to.
don't even grant the media. They even are asking everybody. They don't want media to talk to us. They want media to focus on us.
Okay. So sorry.
Police are stealing our right on going justice in this country. Police is not the weapon to the government. Because when you continue to talk to some of the police, if you see the alarming thing they are defending themselves in a noise way. Telling you Nigeria cannot get it right, it is not possible. Nigeria has been like that. I told the police, if Nigeria cannot get it right, how possible we were able to fight it from colonialism to military regime, from military regime to democracy? The democracy we have to correct it. But we don't believe in that ideology. They believe what they want to get as a tool for the government. They believe what they're getting with dilapidated violence and all of that.
well,
We don't really consider like this.
very very sorry.
Freedom is being accepted. We don't have freedom in this country anymore.
All right.
Not at all. If somebody telling you we have freedom, not even the lawyer. The lawyer was there when the lawyer was chased out of party yesterday.
Wow, very, very sorry. Very, very sorry for that. Now let's get back to the studios. Mecca Madunagu, you are a journalist yourself, a media person. You've heard everything that Kingsley had said. Very gory, if you ask me. What do you have to say about this, especially denying media access to knowing and letting loose some of the information and stories that happened on that day?
Well, very sad. I empathize with comrade. You know, I'm very sorry. Please get good medical treatment, and I hope that Barrister Nibe Efyong, who is on that team, will ensure justice for these protesters. You know, they must go to court and get their rights defended in court. You know, they must get the most ensure. I mean, they just was it yesterday or so last week, a lady who was brutalized by the police, I think 23 years ago, and he just got judgment of it, and that's 70 million naira or something in different place. If you go to the office of the Attorney General of the Federal Minister of Justice, you will see judgments against the police. Judgments against the police. Heavy judgment deaths. I remember some one administration, I don't remember whether it was Obasanjo or Yar'Adua or so, where they warned the police that the highest number of judgments, damages, high number of damages against, against the government came from the police. So the then Minister of Justice was telling the police that they should moderate the actions of the officers. And the rank and file that they should talk to them. Because you don't think that you can brutalize people, kill people, and get away with it. Justice will surely catch up with you. Whether today or in the future, justice will eventually catch up with you. And what it shows is that the Nigerian government is deliberate. Let me tell you something. There is no problem in this country that cannot be solved. All the problems of Nigeria can give you breakdown. They are orchestrated, deliberate, by people who have chosen to make a mess of this nation for their personal pockets, not for any reason. All these things are orchestrated. They bow to their masters, their parents masters in the UK, in the US, in the West, the World Bank, IMF, and then they come and treat helpless Nigerians. They subject them to harrowing experiences. But you see, the sad thing is that they know they have weaponized hunger, they have weaponized poverty, they have weaponized want. They turn Nigerians to sheep beggars. So they know we need that because, you see, when they have removed the right to dignity to a people, then they can subject the people to their manipulations. For instance, they whip up ethnic sentiments. They whip up religious sentiments when it suits them. You remember when this EndSARS thing happened? Buhari came out, who didn't even know about it, came out and said it was targeted at his government. You know, there are EndSARS protesters who actually stabbed to death in Abuja by agents of the Buhari administration. So what do you call all of that? But let me tell you something. Justice will prevail one day. And I hope those police officers who brutally will know that whether alive or dead, justice will speak about their conduct. It is very wrong to try to criminalize peaceful protest because it was their duty to protect the protesters. And all they could have done was, okay, we respect your right to protest, but still this location also. But going to molest them, it is a crime against humanity. And let me tell you something. You see, international jurisprudence, jurisprudence, is progressive. The definitions of human rights keep changing, keep getting broadened. And one day you will see this kind of conduct will be added to the ignoble conducts that will earn the perpetrators the minimum life jail. It is going to get to that point. And I want to tell them, that the fact that you're a police officer, you're also a victim of the mismanagement of the Nigerian economy. You are a victim of the denial of the rights of Nigerians. You are a victim because at the end of the day, when you get home, you remove your uniform. If there is no light, you're a victim. If mosquitoes are biting, you are susceptible to malaria and other diseases. You are a victim.
Thank you, Mr.
When you have to pay, in fact, your salary every month cannot take you to work and back, you're a victim. You're even a victim of the insecurity orchestrated by the irresponsible governors in the country. So don't think, if I let me tell you something, even putting on police uniform now is even risky. It's all part of the country. Yes, it's all. There are places, I tell you, I travel widely. There are places in this country that you can go to travel for kilometers, you won't see anybody in police or military uniform. If you even see them, they are together, maybe in a bus or in a vehicle, and in a convoy. It has become that bad. So when a national institution like the police, you can say I'm not using force because there should be nothing like force. That is a misnomer. And it gets into their brains and then they think that gives them the right to force, brutalization on the people. But the Nigerian police must know that this is a democratic institution. It's supposed to be a very stable national institution to safeguard the rights of the people. But when they're acting in the breach, justice will speak one day. And the NSAS victims, like Comrade Edelia said, they'll be commemorated every year, whether those in authority like it or not, until justice is done and is seen to be done.
Thank you, Emeka Magnago. Now, this is your pattern shot. I want to ask you your pattern shot rather. So, this is 4 years after now. Now, what's the lesson we must learn from the NSAS protest? And what's next from here?
Have we learned any lesson? You had the end-back governors. Over 400 Nigerians are still being held in detention. Judge is just granting orders to detain Nigerians indefinitely. In a democracy? And you can see, even former President Goodluck Jonathan had to come out to say that the pronouncement of certain judges can derail this democracy. Because, you just don't understand the motivation behind some of these pronouncements. The court is supposed to be the last hope for the common man. But now people say it's the lost hope of the common man. No lessons have been learned, because you see, Nigerian politicians, they are serial abusers of power. They like to use, wherever they're in authority, they like to lord it over the people. But let me tell you, I believe that a Nigeria that will not condone things like this will arise. And I hope it will arise peacefully. Because the people are being pushed to the wall.
Very, very well said, Emeka. And that's just about the size of our package today. We had to let Comrade Kingsley leave us, and so he could go, of course, take care of himself and his health.
And we hope he's safe.
Yeah, most definitely. And I can still very remember vividly post the NSAS. Now President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was asked. I would love to remember that. What he thought about that. He said that they need to check the characters of those who went on the protest themselves, and who they are, and know why they went there in the first place. Well, that's the situation we found ourselves, and it's so very unfortunate. Thank you so very much, Emeka, once more.
Thank you very much
of our show. And people, that's just about the size of our package today. I'd love to say thank you to you for being part of this program, and please do well to visit us. You can always find us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry Ibubike.
And I'm Choma Okoye.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.